In this edition, how the people of the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo are more and more the victims of their own army. Attacks, killings, mutilations, a shocking list of allegations of how the people of an African state are being betrayed by their own military. All this under the noses of the international peacekeepers. Our reporters have been taking eyewitness accounts of treachery in the rainforests of Central Africa. The UN mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo costs over $1 billion each year, some 3,000 military personnel in that force. A major embarrassment to them is the allegation that state army officers who are tasked with working alongside the UN are playing a double game, working with the UN and at the same time with Islamist insurgents. Pawns in that game include children forced into combat while the army is accused of turning a blind eye.
The Virunga Forest is one of Africa's oldest national parks. It's home to pockets of mountain gorillas, but they're not the only ones living among the trees. It also provides cover for a group of rebels who are feared across the region. It's morning in Erengeti, a town that sits at the edge of the jungle.
This is an AK-47.
Is it a Mai fighter?
Yes, Mai.
The Mai are just one of around 40 militia operating in this region. The Congolese army have just defeated a group of them and are now celebrating.
They tried to throw stones at us, but we killed them. We, the army, are here. They will all disappear.
Good job, men. Stay in the area.
The Mai were easily beaten. They came from neighboring villages armed only with sticks and stones to fight the heavily armed military. These prisoners have been put on display along with their useless weaponry.
The chiefs gave us sand and rocks, and they told us we could make bombs out of them. Now I see it was a lie.
Local residents say there's nothing random about this attack. Many believe the Congolese military were targeted because they are secretly collaborating with some of the region's most infamous killers. Members of the Congolese military have been accused of helping the ADF, or Allied Defense Forces. The ADF is made up of Islamists from neighboring Uganda who dream of overthrowing the president. They've been recruiting across the region since the 1990s.
When you march, you should think of Allah. You should recite the prayer of the trigger. Do you know that prayer? Good. Recite it. If you say it well enough, you will know that God is with you and nothing bad can happen. Don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed when you fight against your enemy. Never back down. When you kill, don't think that it's you doing the killing. Allah is guiding you.
The ADF has been filling out their ranks with child soldiers from the region. We met one of them. His name is Fiston, French for young lad. At 13, he was forced to join up.
Là-bas, à la forêt, on forme nous les enfants, on tuait les hommes, là on les blanche. C'était les machettes et les marteaux. On va te dire que allez tuer cet homme. Tu dois aller seulement. Il tue vraiment les hommes. Il te coupe la tête, surtout souvent. Et la main aussi. C'est comme ça.
Did you see that? These terrible incidents began at the end of 2014, when DRC authorities decided to oust the ADF. Over 120 massacres have been counted in the past year and a half, with around 1,000 civilian casualties. Many have decided to leave the endless cycle of horror behind. 1/3 of Erengeti's inhabitants are now thought to have fled. Father Jerome has watched his congregation shrink by the day.
The priest leaves last. He can't be the first to go. If he leaves, then the whole village leaves. I'm sure that one day I'll go, and the village will be deserted. I know it'll eventually be empty.
As if villagers fleeing the ADF rebels wasn't enough to deal with, Father Jerome also has to help victims of the Congolese military, some of whom have decided to take advantage of the rebel threat to steal from the locals. This woman on the right says she witnessed her husband's murder at the hands of an Erengeti battalion known as the Hindu.
The Hindu killed him.
Who are the Hindu?
She says the Hindu killed him. She says there were soldiers there, the military who are here to protect, the Congolese military.
The Congolese military? How can you explain that the army of the country kills their own people?
That's the problem. No one knows. They're not the ADF. Maybe there are some soldiers who became ADF. But based on her testimony, it was Hindu soldiers.
The Hindu is a nickname given to some of the soldiers stationed here in Erengeti. They've been regularly accused of sharing intelligence with the ADF. The truth has never been established. Have the killers been put on trial?
Who can go to trial in Congo? Can you expect a fair trial in Congo? Human rights, at least on the military level, don't exist. If you dared go to trial, they'd probably kill you. Everyone's afraid of getting killed. Nobody here wants to sacrifice themselves. That's why we prefer not to speak. There won't be any trials. They kill with impunity. They crush human rights just like that.
To find out the reason for this alleged pact between members of the army and the ADF, we take the difficult road through the jungle towards the area where the rebels can be found. Oicha sits 35 kilometers from Erengeti. Modeste survived a massacre blamed on the ADF. He says he's extremely lucky to be alive.
They cut me here. They cut my throat with a machete. That's how I lost my voice. Now I have problems breathing. I'm disabled.
Modeste says that he was left for dead and was able to witness everything that happened. The massacre was officially blamed on the ADF, but he tells another story.
He first came to my house because he had a thing for my wife. After that, he went to other villagers' houses, and he killed them too. He had it all planned out. It was a Congolese major pretending to be from the ADF.
Some high-ranking soldiers are accused of going even further. A report published by UN experts in May pins the blame directly on the leader of operations against the ADF. The report says that General Mundos, seen wearing a helmet here, armed the rebels, supplied them with troops, and even ordered the killings of civilians. Now transferred to another region, he denies everything. NGOs say that the problem is due to the whole corrupt system, and not just the actions of one man.
They're in the army, and they cooperate with other armed groups. They're even responsible for creating some of the armed groups. The officers in particular create armed groups. That justifies their presence here. It justifies them getting richer because the state is paying for them to fight the rebels. They take the money, they go abroad and build houses, they do whatever they want. And at the same time, our country's people is suffering the consequences.
The report has now been presented at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. It's an embarrassing situation for the UN, the Congolese army's most significant partner in the peace process. 20,000 UN troops have been deployed on the ground, supported by an annual budget of almost $1.5 billion. The peacekeeping force is led by French General Bayot. What do you think of people talking about this or that Congolese general who's supposed to be an ally but's actually helping the rebels?
There could be those who are helping to sustain a situation like this. either by failing to behave in an appropriate manner or by helping the other side. I don't think anybody can deny that, but it's different saying that it goes right to the top.
General Bayor claims only a few individuals could have been colluding with the enemy, and the majority of Congolese soldiers want to get rid of the ADF. To help them with that goal, the UN has set up the Force Intervention Brigade. These are UN peacekeepers authorized to launch attacks. The UN soldiers take joint patrols with the Congolese army, working alongside them.
You have to keep a distance. Keep a distance.
We're traveling with them to the heart of the jungle. It's thought that around 600 Congolese soldiers have died doing the same.
The forest, yeah. This is not good.
Why?
I think the shorty, good, yeah.
We are at the heart of enemy territory. The ADF have been hiding among these trees for the past 20 years. A former stronghold sits at the top of a hill overlooking the jungle. The Atakanka camp may now be under the control of the UN peacekeepers and the Congolese forces, but the enemy is never far away.
Yesterday we had some ADF firing from the north and also the south, but we managed to repel, so they went back into the bush.
Number 2 section commander.
Every evening grenades are given out.
3, 4. The very dangerous time is night, because that is when the visibility is poor.
The soldiers from the offensive force have their own strategy, staying in the camp. Not long before 6 p.m, a message comes through the Congolese commander's walkie-talkie.
Alpha Bravo.
It's from a Congolese peacekeeper. Their drone has spotted suspicious movements in the forest. Instead of going out to check, they decide to let artillery take care of it.
Okay,
40 minutes later, the UN cannons kick into action.
Okay, fanya kwa hiyo. Aningani.
25 cannons sound over the next hour, but it's unclear who the targets are. The enemy remains invisible, and the soldiers won't bother going out looking for corpses.
No market today.
Meanwhile, General Bayor is still in Erengeti. He has a meeting with the town administrator.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Ça va bien?
Every day we hear more bombs, here and there, but we can only wonder where all these bombs are going, because they don't ever hit the enemy. They're still out there, they haven't disappeared. No one seems to get it.
Despite their presence in Erengeti, the UN forces have so far proved powerless to stop the violence. This is the site of a recent attack.
They were hiding. They waited until the patrol left and then they attacked.
Here, the ADF killed 24 civilians, including pregnant women. They were cut into pieces by machetes or bludgeoned with hammers, with UN soldiers only several hundred meters away.
There's a MONUSCO base about 800 meters in that direction. They're mainly intelligence officers from Bangladesh and Nepal. There are also intervention brigade soldiers from Malawi over there.
We head for the Nepali and Bangladeshi camp and find that from this observation point, the scene of the attack is clearly visible.
Did you manage to stop the attack?
The UN mission did not provide any clear answer as to why they failed to intervene. Espérance and her family lived in the area that was hit by the ADF. She says she lost everything on that night.
The MONUSCO was just over there. They killed 7 people from my family in the neighborhood over there. My father was the 8th victim. I want the soldiers of the MONUSCO to go home because I don't see the point of them staying here. With or without them, the villagers keep getting killed.
It's changeover time at the Napoli camp. The soldiers tasked with protecting Espérance's family are moving on to the next job.
Thank you, sir, for all the hard work and best of luck. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The failure of the mission is glossed over with a couple of medals and a parade. Uneasiness has grown among UN troops reluctant to fight alongside Congolese soldiers playing an unclear game. As a result, the trust of the unprotected local population has been squandered.
Our report from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. We'll follow all developments for you here, of course, on France 24. See this program again via our website france24.com. This is Reporters on France 24. Stay with us.